The morning of September 10, 1945, was crisp in Fruita, Colorado. On their modest farm, Lloyd Olson and his wife Clara were working through a standard list of chores. Today, however, there was a bit of extra pressure. Clara's mother was coming to visit for dinner, and she was known to be a particular guest with a specific craving. She loved fried chicken, but specifically, the neck. Lloyd, wanting to please his mother-in-law, walked out to the chicken coop to select a plump, 5-month-old Wyandotte rooster named Mike. He brought the bird over to the chopping block, angled his axe carefully, and swung. Lloyd had performed this task hundreds of times. A quick, clean strike to the neck was supposed to be the end of it. But as the axe came down, Mike shifted slightly. The blade severed the front of the face, the beak, the eyes, and the crown of the skull. The severed head fell to the ground. But the body didn't drop. Instead, the headless rooster shook his feathers, stepped off the chopping block, and walked away. He strolled over to a patch of dirt, turned his neck toward his wing, and attempted to tuck his non-existent head under his feathers to go to sleep. Lloyd was stunned. He had seen chickens flop around for a minute or two after being processed, the classic running around like a headless chicken phenomenon. It was just basic nerve spasms. He expected the bird to collapse any second. Shaken, Lloyd left the rooster in the yard and went inside. The next morning, Lloyd walked out to the yard to clean up. To his absolute disbelief, Mike was not dead. He was standing near the barn, awake, balancing perfectly on two legs, and trying to preen his feathers. Lloyd knew he was looking at something that defied everything he knew about farming. Right then and there, he decided that if this bird had the will to live, he was going to help him do it. The answer lay in a perfect storm of geometry, biology, and sheer luck. When Lloyd swung the axe, the angle was just high enough that it missed the rooster's jugular vein. Simultaneously, as the blade sliced through, a blood clot formed almost instantly at the wound site. This miracle of coagulation prevented Mike from bleeding to death in those crucial first few minutes. Because Mike's brain stem and one ear remained perfectly intact on his neck, his lungs kept drawing air, his heart kept pumping, and he could still stand upright without falling over. He was, for all intents and purposes, a living reflex loop. But survival meant he needed food, and without a beak or a mouth, Mike couldn't eat. Lloyd and Clara had to invent a way to keep him alive. They settled on a precise daily routine. **** the eyedropper. **** They mixed milk, water, and finely ground grains into a slurry, carefully dropping it directly down Mike's open esophagus. The syringe, ***, because Mike couldn't clear his throat, he constantly ran the risk of suffocating on his own mucus. The Olsons kept a small suction syringe on hand at all times to clear his airway whenever he began to wheeze. As the weeks passed, rumors began to ripple through the small town of Fruita. Neighbors whispered about the Olsons' undead chicken. Some accused Lloyd of pulling a cruel prank or stitching a fake body together. To clear his name and satisfy his own curiosity, Lloyd packed Mike into a box and drove him to the University of Utah in Salt Lake City. The scientists there were openly skeptical, until they laid eyes on the rooster. They put Mike through a battery of tests. The university officially verified that Mike was completely real, healthy, and headless. The story exploded. A sharp sideshow promoter named Hope Wade approached Lloyd with a proposition: take Mike on tour. In the 1940s, traveling curiosity shows were incredibly popular, and a genuinely headless chicken was a goldmine. Lloyd, who was struggling on a small farm salary, agreed. Mike became a national sensation. He traveled from town to town across the American West and Midwest. People lined up around the block, paying a quarter each to catch a glimpse of the bird. The tour brought immense wealth. At his peak, Mike was earning $4,500 a month, an astronomical sum in the mid-1940s, equivalent to roughly $50,000 a month today. He was featured in Life magazine and Time, and his worth was estimated at $10,000. The Olsons went from struggling farmers to wealthy managers of America's most famous bird. For 18 months, Mike lived the life of a pampered star. He gained weight, growing from a scrawny young rooster to a robust, 8-pound bird. He seemed entirely unbothered by his lack of a head. In March 1947, the tour stopped in Phoenix, Arizona. The Olsons and Mike checked into a local motel after a long day of public exhibitions. In the dead of night, Lloyd woke up to a terrifying, familiar sound, a wet, choking gasp coming from Mike's box. The rooster's airway was blocked with mucus, and he was suffocating. Lloyd sprang out of bed and frantically rummaged through their travel bags, searching for the small suction syringe they used to clear Mike's throat. His heart sank as he realized a catastrophic mistake. They had accidentally left the syringe at the sideshow venue the evening before. With no way to clear the blockage and no open veterinary clinics nearby, Lloyd and Clara could only watch helplessly.